our behinds kicked, starting with me all the way down. You got to give Dallas credit. They actually played the way that we like to play. They just kept the game simple. Anytime we sent the second guy at the ball, or anytime they tried to drive the basketball, somebody was open, they just made the simple pass, and whoever caught it stepped in and shot a wide open shot, or they caught it, drove it, and then they sprayed the ball, and they got great looks from the three-point line because they just kept making the same simple play over and over and over and over again. And obviously Luka hit some tough shots at the beginning of the game to get them going, but that, that's what great players do. And then after that, it was just downhill because of the way that they moved the basketball after short paint touches or even a little deeper paint touches. We didn't do a great job defensively. We didn't do a great job contesting shots when we did have an opportunity to contest shots. They won the possession game. We talked about playing fast, and we had 5 fast break points. And I told our guys, I said, hey, they played last night and had to travel in. We played last night, we were here. And to have 5 fast break points is not good enough, especially when they had 18. I don't know why, but our transition passes were not good. We threw underhand passes, we threw off-balance passes over the top, but we had to have 3 or 4 turnovers in transition that just cost us. You talk about spraying the ball. I thought the first half, Luka had a big first half, so you got to give him credit. Part of the reason why they had 58 points, he had 26. And, we hitting them, blitzing them, but he still found a way at times to get free and shoot a step back and knock down some deep threes. But offensively, even though we weren't playing our best, we still at times tried to play the right way, because everybody knows when Doncic is rolling, they're doing this. When we drive the ball, they're doing this, and so they're daring us to spray the basketball, and sometimes you got to spray it early. And in the first half, we were 5 for 10 in sprays, and our goal is to get to 20. In the second half, we were 1 for 4. We were 1 for 4 in sprays, and that just tells you that we either drove and tried to finish in traffic, or we had the ball in traffic and tried to finish, but we did not spray the basketball. Our spacing wasn't good, our pacing in the half court wasn't good, our cutting wasn't good, but the biggest thing is we just would not spray the basketball to save our lives. And to have 4 sprays against a pretty good defensive team like that is not good enough. We were 1 for 4 in sprays, and by the time we took our starters out, I think we had a total of 24 threes, and a lot of that had to do because we weren't spraying the basketball. So we obviously weren't good defensively. Luka and Kyrie, they're great players, and they had a lot to do with it. But offensively, watching us play tonight, I'm a little surprised how we played.
Coach, on those double teams for Luka, Kyrie, what do you feel like you guys could have done to sort of clean up them still making plays out of that?
At the end of the day, when you double somebody in our league, you're telling the other team somebody else is taking a shot. And like I said, you just got to give them credit, because what they did was when we doubled them, they just tried to stretch the double team so that our rotations are longer, and then they just got the ball out, and they made one more, you had to rotate, and made one more simple pass, because they stretched the double team and our rotations are longer. Now, again, I always talk about the domino effect. Our team sometimes gets into the mode where the guy that has the ball thinks he has to make the assist, and sometimes it's the hockey assist that kills teams. And so tonight, when we did blitz, they did a great job of extending the double team, and we had to, because those guys both had it going in certain times of the game. But they got it out just simply to the open man, and they let that open man make a play when we had to rotate to him. And you just live with whoever takes a shot at that time, and hopefully you're able to get there and contest, and more than that, you hope that they miss. But if they make shots, then at the end of the day, you can say, hey, I'm gonna live with that, because we're not letting Luka get another 26 in the second half, and then Kyrie, get 20 or 30 in the second half himself.
Mike, coming into this game tonight, I know it was called or labeled as like a mini playoff series with everything that's on the line. In circumstances like, let's say this was game 1 of the playoffs and you have 2 days off before game 2 and another crack at the same opponent, what do these 2 days look like, and is the approach the same even in the regular season?
Well, it's a little different. Like tomorrow, we're giving the guys off for sure, because we played a lot of games in a short amount of time, and especially when we have a back-to-back, we give guys a day off, so they'll have a day off tomorrow. In the playoffs, we probably come in and at least watch film, get some free throws and some shots up or something like that. But I have a day off, and then we'll come in, we'll practice the next day, and then get ready to play the following day. So it's a little different in that regard, but there's still really, really important games, and it's great for us to see if we can bounce back and figure out what we can do better in this second game.
Mike, the third quarter issue that we saw tonight, that hasn't really been sort of who you guys are this season. What is it that you saw coming out of halftime that they were able to come out and just run away from you guys so fast?
Jay, and again, I don't want to put it all on us offensively, but because we didn't do a great job defensively, but our offense tonight led to some easy baskets for them. And when we turned the ball over, or we took forced tough shots because we held on to it, now the shot clock's going down and we're standing, now we gotta jack something up, and it's a tough shot, so it hits the rim, it bounces long, and then they're in transition. When you get a couple of those, it can be deflating, you hope that it's not. For us, it was tonight, and we started the second half. I know early on we had a turnover, and then we had 1 or 2 bad shots in a row, and every time we did something like that, they made us pay, and you could feel it just took the air out of us. And normally we're pretty resilient when that happens. We just keep grinding and finding a way. Tonight we didn't. But I felt more than anything else, it started with the way that we played on the offensive end of the floor in that second half. To go 1 for 4 in sprays, and then to have the type of turnovers we had, it's not good.
Coach, pregame you talked a little bit about adversity, and while making it clear that you don't want to lose these games, but sometimes it could be good for the team to go through some of these losses. Do you consider tonight's loss, the team can benefit from a loss like tonight?
Yeah, this is a great time for us to see if we have it within ourselves to go out and play the right way. And you're not going to win every game. Obviously, I don't care how well you play, but you don't want to walk away from a game if you can help it with a bad taste in your mouth, knowing that there are a lot of things out on the floor that we could have done better, just by keeping the game simple, just by doing what we do, what we emphasize. And that's what makes it tough is, we emphasize, there are a handful of things that we emphasize a lot, but as of late, it's been about the sprays and it's been about the contests. And we didn't do a good job in either area. When we made that, if you think about it, when we made that little mini run in the third, I think we had Alex and Davion and Malik, maybe Dorte and Keegan. We had, just in that 2-minute or 3-minute burst alone, I think we had three of our 4 sprays. And then we might have had 1 the rest of the half. And Alex, he caught it, he got a little bounce pass diving down the lane, and he kicked it to Keegan, and Keegan had a wide open corner 3 that he missed. Malik drove and hit Davion at the top of the floor for a wide open spray. We started playing the right way, and you could feel the momentum or the juice of the group out on the floor, on both ends of the floor. Not only that, Dallas was pressed a little bit. They started missing some shots. They ended up getting a 50-50 ball, and Hardaway hit a little pull-up jumper at the free throw line. Otherwise, it would have been like an 8-0 or 10-0 run. You know, so it's, to me, to all of us in that locker room, it's a great opportunity for us to see if we can bounce back, play the right way, and see if we can get a win against these guys in the next 3 days.
Hey Mike, this might be better for after you watch the film, but they were pressing Domas a lot, especially at the three-point line, the foul line. Is there something that you guys can do offensively to kind of combat that, especially when they're pressing him so much?
He's gonna have to go by Gafford. I mean, if you think about it, it's, when you're young on the playground and somebody's getting up in your chest, you gotta first of all create space with your pivot foot, and if they keep doing it, jab one way, and then you're gonna have to go by them. And when you go by them, you know, in their case, help's coming. Help's coming. So if help's coming, then that's when the spray has to happen. So you have to make sure everything that you do is purposeful against those guys, because they're a pretty good defense team and they're big. They're a lot bigger than us, and they have some pretty good athletes. But we can't allow them to have us play on our back heel all the time. So just going by your man, not necessarily to score every once in a while, but to draw help, knowing that if somebody comes from here, I'm just making a simple, I may not get the assist because they may rotate, but I gotta get off of it, sometimes get off of it before I take a third or fourth dribble, and let that person get the assist.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Locker room's open, guys.